modules. So there's schedules if they want to see this. I have military students, so I have to inform them about Go Army Ed and different tuition, things of that nature. We have graduation announcement, textbooks, directions on just cases information, and university links and information that is pertinent to my master students who are at a distance. I do the same thing with my Olathe students. So they have different information sets. We do announcements so that they know different things that are going on there. And finally, I do the last one with the doctoral students group, and their modules are customized to what would be good information for them in our program, writing a dissertation process, graduate schools, different options for journals, employment, and conferences that we have. So you can set up Canvas to do really good academic advising. I just invite my students, stick them in here, set up the home page so that I add the latest announcements to the top of that page. And it all works great. So from there on, they're just looking at this material and come in here and find the information. The other thing I have them do is to make sure they go to their accounts and set up their notifications so that they can then come in and they can get feeds. So what I'm trying to do is get them to understand that we're going to push things to them. If they will check the right way that they want it delivered, they'll get the information that they're looking for. And actually, when we send an email inviting them to this, we send all our new students an email that lists that information that says, here's some steps that you want to make sure that you do first. You want to go to Canvas. You want to click on and accept this course and go in and look at all the directions that we've given you right there on the next steps and where you're going. When students want to know where's our courses in our particular program, they'll always be posted in that place. They can always go find them. They'll go in and check latest announcements, those kinds of things, and we can get feeds. The other thing this does for you really well is that now you can email them by their classes. So if I wanted to email a group, if I want to email all my online students, it's a little tricky. All I can do is go in here and click all students. And now I can send them all a Canvas email. And since all my online students are in Canvas all the time, it works really well to do a mass distribution very easily. And I don't have to do much but send out a few announcements. Does that help you?
Yes, in a way. So I'm familiar with Canvas. We're looking more into how to do peer mentoring.
You can set it up in the same place. You can set up a peer mentoring space in one of those sites. You can create groups, is what I would suggest. So do you know how to do that in Canvas?
You mean about like the discussion?
Uh-huh.
Board groups?
Yep.
Yeah, I know discussion. Yes. But can you create it based on the groups? Because we have several groups for peer mentoring.
Right.
So not only one group, and for what I remember correctly, and maybe they change it, you cannot separate it. Like the discussion board is only one discussion board, but maybe I'm wrong.
Well, here's my groups that I set up for my discussion in this particular course. So those students in that I've assigned in that group will only go to be able to click on that one group. When they grow into the group space, they have all of access to all of this information. They can create pages, they can create discussions, they can upload files. All that information can happen here. I put students in small groups to do projects, and I give them a group space for their project. And this is a space that they can use on their own and create things. I just make it possible for them to create things in this space. Now, if your peer mentoring is one-on-one and not a small group of people, then you're going and Reed, you can chime in if you think of something different. The thing that I would think of is probably setting up separate courses for your different groups. But then the other thing I use is Zoom. So if I'm going to meet one-on-one with a person, I set up a 30-minute Zoom session with them. Do you use Zoom in that way?
So we use Zoom for the IDP meetings for the students. Peer mentoring is just students. So I think we have like 4 or 5 in a group. So I guess best will be to just do a discussion and assign each group a discussion like space on Canvas.
Right. So if you just go into a discussion category, divide them into the groups. Let me get it back to the course here. So no, it's under people. Sorry. So you just go into people and you would create a group set. And now I can put them in different groups based upon that. Here's what I did for week 4. So I just put all my students then into that group. Then those students are only people that can get into that particular group. Would that help you?
Yes, so I need to go to people and then project groups.
Yes, project groups. And then under your project set, you're going to have to create your groups.
Yeah.
So I had to create group A, group B, group C. You can call them whatever you want.
Okay. Yes, this one helps.
Okay, good. Hi, someone else joined us. This is a small group. We're doing more of a Q&A, trying to address your specific problem. And they leave.
So just a quick question. So once I assign the groups, I'm going back to the discussion, and then I just create a separate discussion board to each group, or how do I?
So this discussion,
Yes.
I put in the directions up here.
Yes.
They can post the replies. If it's not going to be
Yes, I
graded,
know
you
that.
just
Yeah.
uncheck that, right?
Okay. Yes, I'm familiar with that.
So then you can set this open-ended. You don't have to set a due date.
Yes, I know that. Okay.
So that's all you do. Then make
Where
it a
do I
group.
know? So how do they know which group? So this is a group discussion.
Right. On this page, you see where it says group discussion. You check
Yes.
group discussion.
Okay.
Then it'll ask you which group set you're going to use.
Okay, so then I can use project groups.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So each group will have a separate discussion space?
Right.
Okay.
So that's like this group A, this 6 students will only see group A. They won't see the rest of them. And they will only be able to go in this space.
Okay, I see. Can they also like chat? Like
If you, I don't know if you can add chat to that. No, chat's in there.
So basically they have to write. They cannot speak to each other in Canvas, correct?
If you use collaborations, you still have to use it. Conferences, they could, you should be able to put Zoom in here.
Oh, so just with Zoom they can do that? Okay.
So groups are a little more restrictive in what you can add to it. It really is kind of just that base area. They could always start a Zoom discussion themselves and kind of embed the link to share, but there really isn't. Conferences would be the live tool within Canvas, and that we don't use very much. But it is possible that a group could use conferences to create a live session.
Okay, I see. So if they want to really talk to each other, we have to put the Zoom link. So can the student create their own, or we need to create it for them? Zoom.
Zoom, the students could create their own.
Oh, they can? Okay.
Hmm.
I see. Okay.
They just need to make sure they go under the K-State account and not the
Okay.
free one. The free will cut them off at 40 minutes. So if they wanted an hour meeting, they need to make sure they go to the K-State website and go from there.
Okay. So any other ideas to get the student involved except of the discussion boards on Canvas?
Laura, do you have any other session? She's really doing advising and doing peer-to-peer groups. Is there anything else in Canvas that she could use?
So are you asking students to do any editing or peer review of assignments, or is it really just
No, we don't do
talking
that.
to each other? Okay.
No, it's just talking. It's a seminar, this
Okay.
course. So
And how many students do you have?
how many we have now? So the now 20s are 16. I would say between 14 to 16.
Okay, so that's not super large. I would say
No.
your discussions are going to be a really good way for them to communicate with each other. They can start discussions if they have a particular topic they want to talk about. So they could start a discussion in that small group themselves. You know, you can have certainly topics to kind of help them guide the direction you want them to go each week. If you have a specific focus for each week, give them a topic to start talking through. Yeah, and then if they have some sort of group project, then doing it through Zoom or doing it on a Google Doc, those kinds of things are the best way for them to work together online.
Okay. And what is the Canvas chat? Or maybe is there something like that? The Canvas.
Yeah, there is. There is. And so that's something that it looks like Royce doesn't have visible at this time. It's in there somewhere, right? Oh, it actually does
Yeah,
say
here
it
it
should be.
is.
There it is. There it is. So chat is basically going to be just that. Royce just jumped in and there's one person online. If you tell everybody, join me for chat at 10 a.m., then it just starts. Everybody who gets online, all of their names are there.
I see. Okay. But they can only type their
Yep.
comments. They cannot speak to each other.
Right, right.
Okay. I see. So I guess basically these are the only questions that I have. So
Okay.
I don't know if you have any other comments or.
Well, I was trying to customize it to what your specific situation is. So I think we've covered just about everything that I know that's in Canvas. Zoom is your other one that you can do one-on-one sessions with students at a distance, and it works very well. I advise students all over the United States and international, and we set up a Zoom, and it's like we're both sitting across from each other in a room.
Yes, I'm familiar with Zoom. Yes. Okay.
That would be my other best option to send you.
Okay.
It's really a session to try to customize to what people needed. In my courses, I run them. You can set up your course so that you have a landing page. You can change your landing page. As you're trying to work with these different groups, if you have different announcements you want them to follow, you can certainly post them so that they automatically come in. The biggest thing that you have to stress to your students is to get their notifications set so that they're notified when you post a new announcement and it's pushed out to them. And that way they're always in contact with you and you're not having to chase them down.
Yes, this one. Yes, I know.
Which can be a problem.
Yes, but Yes, but they receive notification.